And we're back. I'm back. Okay, I don't want to get dizzy. Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to Leah's World. So we are in a new setting, a new vibe. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to switch up my location a little bit. So yeah, I hope you guys like this look a bit more, but let's get into the video. Okay, so let's get real for a moment. Does having an aesthetic really matter? I'm gonna let you guys think about that for a moment. Like, does your whole life need a whole vibe, need a whole aesthetic? Do you need to reinvent yourself constantly to find different aesthetics? And these are all just questions. So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about, does having an aesthetic matter? Okay, so first, I think it's best that we start off defining what an aesthetic actually is. So let me bring out the MacBook because we have to be resourceful, right? Yeah. Okay, so at its core, the definition of aesthetic is a set of principles or sense of what is beautiful, visually pleasing, or artistically expressive. Then also, they do have a definition for modern terms in internet culture. So that definition is a distinct visual style, mood, or theme that reflects a person's taste, personality, or identity, often seen through fashion, design, music, or online presentation. So based off that definition, as we can see with time today, the term has kind of shifted into a more internet appropriate definition, as you can see. So it's more broader. It's not just about how things look, it's more about your own personal vibe, aesthetic, whether that is music, whether that's fashion, whether that is anything of interest to you. Now let's talk about how aesthetic is during the digital age. So social media today, platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all of the social medias, and also Pinterest. I don't know why I be forgetting to say Pinterest, but that's definitely a social media site. So yeah, Pinterest as well. And I'm fans of all of these platforms. Obviously, I'm into content creation. But it's just important to note that all of these platforms reward you based off how you present yourself. It's almost like you have to have a consistent vibe to get the clicks, to get the likes, to get the views. Like the algorithm loves it and it also feeds off of it. So if your content in general looks cohesive, you're more likely to get noticed. And also now whole brands have been built off of aesthetics. But to keep it more streamlined in this video, I want to talk about the aesthetic in terms of fashion and in that realm, since I like talking about fashion. And I think a lot of times when it comes to fashion and just kind of finding and developing your style, I think sometimes we get stuck on those social media trends, what I like to call micro trends, because they come and go. I think when it comes to building your style, you have to find a vibe and an aesthetic that fits you the best. Of course, we use social media platforms like Pinterest and YouTube and Instagram. I do as well to find inspo, which I think finding inspiration is okay. I think the issue is when you start to copy and paste and change your style to be like someone else. So when your aesthetic starts to feel more like a costume, that's when it starts to get a bit tricky. Okay, so now let's get into the consumerism and capitalism side. Of course, capitalism and consumerism plays a huge part in having an aesthetic. And we also can't ignore the money side because we know having an aesthetic sells. And brands know this as well. They don't just sell products, they sell lifestyles. And you can see from all of these different commercials, like they're selling you something, but they're selling you a lifestyle that you may wish for, something that you may want, or most likely it's something that you currently don't have and maybe wish to have. For example, when it came to the whole clean girl aesthetic, clean girl makeup, clean girl hair, it's selling you a lifestyle, it's selling you a certain aesthetic, and all of a sudden you need a specific skincare routine, you need a specific hair products, you need specific earrings. Is it gold or silver? You need a slick back bun, you need everything to be beige and neutral colors. Come on, let's be realistic. Everything isn't beige, everything isn't one thing. Like, I think it's important just to still be subjective in how you identify a different thing, especially when it comes to you looking to build your style, wardrobe, or even your lifestyle. And also, even you see it when it comes to like this soft life lifestyle or trend, I think that's also a trend as well. Like there's a whole shopping list that comes with that as well. It's just like, can we get a break? And let's be clear, the stuff is not cheap. Like you're asking us to get Tatcha, you're asking us to get goddamn Dyson hair dryers, $500 each. Like nothing is realistic. It's like only a certain percentage of people can afford these items that you're forcing upon watchers. And because aesthetics come and go so often, it creates this pressure to constantly buy new stuff in order to keep up with the trends and also the aesthetics. I think it's crazy how something that started as like a creative self-expression turned into another form of like consumerism ultimately. Now I got to get this Lululemon set. That's $200. Like, where am I gonna get $200 from? Aloe, they're selling $3,000 handbags, leather handbags. It's supposed to be a luxury lifestyle wellness brand. You're selling handbags that are thousands of dollars. Like, come on. Like, come on. Who else? What's another brand? I'm trying to like think off top. Like, I should know this. But even luxury fashion houses, even though I love speaking about luxury and all the things, it's consumerism culture. Okay, so my last topic is going to be, of course, mental health and well being and the pressure that often affects your mental health when it comes to this whole aesthetic culture. And then there comes the mental side of things. I think when it comes to aesthetic and trying to find an aesthetic, it can become exhausting because, as I stated, the trends come and go. It's like you're trying to meet all of these aesthetic goals that you may have personally, but sometimes you may not have the money. Sometimes you may not have the access. And that can start to affect you mentally, especially if you're not in a space where you're happy. There's this idea that you have to maintain like this picture perfect image, especially online, which on one side I do understand, but you got to be realistic. People like authenticity. So it doesn't matter if you don't always look put together, people like to see that side as well. And then also it comes with comparison. You're comparing your look to someone else that you've seen online. You're comparing the clothes that you have in your closet compared to someone that you watch frequently on TikTok or any other app. So that, of course, we know comparison is a thief of all joy. That can be extremely detrimental, especially when it comes to your mental health. It goes to the fact that you might not even post something because it doesn't fit your vibe, which that is something that I do. I'm not gonna lie, like I am that sort of person. Like if it doesn't fit my vibe, like I don't want to put that on my page. Like I mean, like it doesn't fit the vibe. So yeah, I mean, it's subjective. Like I said, it's subjective. Like choose, you know. I'm here to give you the info. You do what you want. And I think that's where also the pressure comes in is like if your life doesn't look a certain way, then it doesn't count, which is super unhealthy because it absolutely counts. So I think it's important just to first, this may sound cliche, but you really do have to look within. You really do have to figure out what you like personally. And as I stated, it's okay to get influence from other people that you enjoy watching. I mean, I think that's great. I'm all about building community and just building, like friendships with different women or people that you enjoy watching. I'm all for that. You gotta have to pick and choose, you have to pick and choose and you have to really think about it. Like, how is this going to affect my mental well being? Like, will this have me pondering at 12 a.m.? You know, you have to pick what's worth it. So, I do think aesthetics can be fun and creative, but only when you can kind of control it, not when it starts to control you. I think that's a bar. So, to wrap things up, does having an aesthetic matter? I'm going to leave you all with that question. I do think having an aesthetic could definitely help to express yourself a bit more and then also build your brand if that's something that you're looking to do. But at the same time, it matters as much as you let it. Like, you don't owe the internet this perfectly curated life, and everything doesn't always have to have a certain filter or a certain color palette. It just has to be something that is authentic to you. So if having a certain color palette or if having a certain look is authentic, continue to do the things that you enjoy to do. But I think once it becomes something that you're doing based off someone else, that's when I would suggest wrapping it up, I would say. Like, let's wrap this up. Like, you're not being yourself. So yeah, aesthetics are cool, but authenticity is what actually lasts, I would say. So as always, leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's have a little discourse. Let me know whether or not you think having an aesthetic matters, or is it just social media pressure? Yeah, just let me know your thoughts. Thank you for watching. Bye.